We have all that power and technology. And that's where we come in. Bridge that allows them to be comfortable. Somebody who's not familiar with Bluetooth, without connectivity, without the struggle.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
And entrepreneurs, founders, in order to create the fortress that Andrew is sharing with us, you need to know your number. You need to know that when your company is making money, what part is gonna go to reinvest in your company, marketing, or whatever, and what part is gonna go to build that fortress that's gonna keep you safe, so you can open. Like the other day, the question is the other day, someone exited the tech business for a few millions. He attended to this podcast and he was sharing with me now that he sold his company. He went to financial planners and financial advisors to give them advice what to do with the money, and he found so little information, so many disrupting information, that now he's creating an AI software that will assess the portfolio and financial planning. And the guy is just a tech entrepreneur, he's not from finance or anything. However, he has something really powerful in his mind. He said, okay, I create wealth. How can I keep this wealth? I need to go to finance planner. I need to start to learn what to do with this money. It's very rare to find this in entrepreneurs. What we find common in entrepreneur have an exit, make a lot of money, take all this money and do another business, and then lose it all. So what can we do to raise awareness?
You're addicted to the challenge. Accept it. So the biggest issue that a lot of entrepreneurs have is that it's really it's chasing the highs, because that's what we're doing. We're creating something out of nothing. And when it succeeds, there's no better feeling, because at the end of the day, you asked a question and you were right. Your answer was right, and you received your rewards. Napoleon in The Art of War explains this. This one's a fun one. This is Mob
This is a
Rules.
good book, The Art of War. Very good. Yeah.
Mob Rules. This is actually a really interesting book on how the mafia of the 1960s, 70s, and 80s and 90s can play today in business today. Keep your mouth shut. It save your life. And the king, Steve Schwartzman of BlackRock and Blackstone. This is his autobiography. You want to talk about a man that risked it all and bet big?
Wow.
And this one is actually a family favorite. This is the story of Durastat. You don't know who Durastat is. I guarantee you don't, because it was sold to Nikon back in the late 70s. This was one of my mom's bosses,
Oh, wow.
Bob Iger. For 17 years, he built that company, but overnight exploded.
It happened.
But the story is that you never saw the 17 years of building this thing from the ground up.
Absolutely.
That's his book. So the very first thing that we can do is accept the fact that we're addicted to challenges. We are. But you cannot, and this is the rule you must have, you cannot start another challenge until you know that everything is protected. If you can quit doing whatever we're doing at any moment and never have to worry about a bill, never worry again, then you may have the world. The world is a challenge. Go at it. But always, and this is the hardest lesson I learned, there is a big difference between paper wealth and real wealth. And real wealth is knowing that you can step away from this at any point and not have to worry. That is powerful, because then now you can risk it all, because everything is protected. You've got nothing to lose. You literally have nothing to lose.
Andrew, tell us about your business. What do you have this idea to start your tech business? Yes.
Well, it started because my father asked me how to forward an email, and my mother and I kind of just laughed it off. But in reality, when we started coming up with this idea, I did some research, and the stats were actually overwhelming.
Huge demand. Absolutely.
According to a lot of this was from the Pew Research Group, and I have all my work that I've published on this and on my LinkedIn page and TechRescue's page, is over 62% of seniors across this country, which make up somewhere in the neighborhood of about 89 million of us, all right, ages 65 and older. 62% do not feel comfortable with technology. Over 73% of them have no idea at the level of capabilities that we are right now. They have been left behind. They are still at the
Absolutely.
.com.
And now there is AI also, and they don't know how to use it.
And guess what? We're talking about an age group, a demographic that has started off the technology era back in the 1940s, where computers were punch cards and they made up the size of the Chrysler building. The Chrysler building, one of the reasons why that some of the floors are solid, that you can't see windows, because that was where they held computers.
Wow.
They needed to reinforce them. The computers were the massive computing machines. You know, in the movie, Hidden Numbers, that's what a computer looked like. Guess what? They grew up with that. Then they saw the invention of a cell phone, a car phone, satellites. These people have been through it all since the very beginning of it all. But their capabilities are stuck in the early 2000s. That's realistically where we find our customer base, is in the early 2000s. We are 25 years chronologically, but according to our research with our call center and all of our analysts working for us, we are 25 years linear difference, but we are over 70 years in technology-wise difference between this generation. We have the computing power in the palm of our hands that we just pop bubbles on and swipe for dating. That phone, that iPhone 16, that Android Samsung Galaxy S24 or 25 now, has more computing power than the entire space shuttle and NASA combined when they sent Neil Armstrong to the moon.
Wow.
Let that sink in for a second. Somebody, one of us, could have controlled the entire mission control, one person, with this in the palm of their hand and land Neil
Wow.
Armstrong. We have the ChatGPT can run any number of high-end astronomic calculus, trigonometry that would make a telephone book. We have all that power and technology. And that's where we come in. Bridge that allows them to be comfortable. Somebody who's not familiar with Bluetooth, without connectivity, without the struggle. We're the bridge. We have call center that
With the
runs
security,
24
with the
hours a day.
cyber security as well. You know,
Yep.
people are getting hacked, losing money, getting the accounts hacked. You name
So
it.
here's another scary statistic. Our study goes back to 2022, and we've done the projections since then based off of 5-year analysis. 1 in 6 seniors in our country is scammed. The average loss per scam is $33,600. That's 1 in 6. It is estimated that over $4.7 billion has been stolen from people.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.